Hello everyone. Smart women never share 3 things. And there are certain things that smart women understand, things they hold close, things they protect. In a world that often feels like it's constantly trying to pull you in different directions, knowing what to keep for yourself is one of the greatest acts of strength. It's not about being secretive or closed off. It's about recognizing your power and your worth. There are 3 key things that, when held sacred, shape the future of any woman who knows her value. First, smart women never share their plans before they are ready to act. They understand that the world is full of distractions, opinions, and external noise that can derail the purest of intentions. Your dreams and goals are sacred, and when you share them too soon, you risk allowing others to impose their own doubts and limitations on your vision. Protect your vision until you are standing firmly in the reality of your own success. Second, smart women never share their weaknesses with those who are not in their circle of trust. Vulnerability is powerful, but it's only effective when shared with the right people. Those who will lift you, support you, and not exploit your struggles. Sharing your weaknesses with the wrong people only leaves room for judgment and manipulation. Protect your emotional energy and use your experiences as lessons, not as a reason for others to take advantage of you. Lastly, smart women never share their worth. Their self-esteem is not something to be bargained with, and they understand that external validation is fleeting. True worth comes from within, and when you let others determine your value, you give away the power to define yourself. You set the standards for your life and your relationships, and you never compromise your own self-worth. The truth is, smart women understand the power of self-respect, the power of protection, and the power of control. They are strategic in how they share parts of themselves, always ensuring that they are only giving to the world when it's in alignment with their highest potential. They teach us that self-care is not just about physical well-being, but about mental and emotional boundaries that allow you to thrive. When you protect what's precious, you elevate yourself and the world around you. So take note, smart women don't just survive in this world, they thrive. And they do it by knowing exactly what to hold close and what to protect. Smart women are visionaries, but they know that not everything needs to be shared. They understand that in a world full of noise, their voice must be intentional, not diluted by external pressures or the opinions of others. They are aware that their time, energy, and emotions are precious commodities that require careful investment. They know that they must guard the most sacred parts of themselves in order to preserve their energy, confidence, and future success. A woman who knows her worth doesn't waste her energy on petty gossip or unnecessary drama. She doesn't allow herself to be swept up in the chaos of others' expectations. Instead, she stays grounded in her values, focused on her mission, and connected to the people who truly see and appreciate her for who she is, not what she can offer. What she shares with the world is purposeful. She shares her wisdom, her kindness, her ideas, but only with those who can see her for the powerhouse she truly is. She doesn't bend to the whims of others because she understands the power of standing tall in her own truth. And as she does this, she becomes a beacon for others to follow, teaching them not just how to survive, but how to thrive on their own terms. It's not about keeping things secret, it's about discernment. Smart women know that they have the ability to shape their own narrative, to decide when and with whom to share their story. They do not seek validation from others because their validation comes from knowing their own worth. They've learned that their personal journey is not for the approval of others, but for their own growth and fulfillment. So if you want to be a woman who is unstoppable, who commands respect, who walks into any room with the quiet power of knowing exactly who she is, understand this: you don't have to give everything away. There is strength in silence, power in restraint, and wisdom in protecting the core of who you are. Smart women never share their plans, their weaknesses, or their worth with just anyone, and in doing so, they carve a path for their own greatness, shaping a future that belongs only to them. Smart women are strategic in their choices, carefully calculating not just what they give, but also what they keep to themselves. They understand that in a world that constantly demands more, the true power lies in knowing when to hold back. They don't need to explain themselves or justify their actions because their purpose is clear. They are intentional with their energy, choosing to invest it only where it matters. Their boundaries are not limitations. They are the foundation of their success. These women know that sharing too much too soon can dilute their potential. They protect their ideas, their ambitions, and their passions until they are fully ready to unleash them to the world. They don't allow the opinions of others to shape their path or disrupt their focus. By keeping their plans close to their heart, they build the resilience and strength needed to carry them through the challenges that will inevitably come their way. They know that their journey is unique and they don't owe anyone an explanation for what they are working towards. The strength of a smart woman is in her ability to maintain control over her vulnerabilities. She doesn't let people see her struggle unless she chooses to. She understands that showing her weakness in the wrong moments can open doors for manipulation or unnecessary sympathy. She allows herself to be human, but only in spaces where her growth is nurtured and supported. In doing so, she maintains a sense of power, autonomy, and emotional balance. What makes these women even more formidable is their unwavering belief in their own worth. They don't seek validation because they know who they are and they are confident in what they bring to the table. Their self-worth doesn't fluctuate with the opinions of others. Instead, it is anchored in their deep understanding of their own value, their talents, and their unique contributions to the world. So they don't share this worth because it is not for negotiation. It is non-negotiable. They carry themselves with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that no one can take what is rightfully theirs. When you see a smart woman succeeding, understand that she is not an accident. She has built her life on the principle of discernment, knowing when to give and when to protect what is hers. She has mastered the art of silence, the power of self-reliance, and the strength that comes from walking in her own truth. She understands that her journey is hers alone, and she walks it with purpose and intention. Her ability to protect these three things, her plans, her vulnerabilities, and her worth, are not signs of weakness, but of incredible strength. It is through this discernment that she cultivates not only success, but a lasting legacy. She is a woman who not only survives, but thrives. And she does so by knowing exactly what to keep sacred, knowing that her silence is as powerful as any words she could speak. A smart woman is not defined by what she shares, but by what she chooses to keep within. She knows that the world often tries to pull her in 1,000 directions, each with its own set of expectations, demands, and pressures. But she has learned that staying true to herself means resisting the urge to broadcast everything she is working on, everything she's feeling, or everything she's worth. Instead, she creates space to nurture her vision quietly, to refine her strength, and to protect her peace. She holds herself with the dignity of someone who doesn't need the approval of others to confirm her worth. She understands that silence isn't just a physical absence of noise, it's the manifestation of her wisdom, her inner strength, and her power. The smartest women know that when they keep certain things close to their hearts, it allows them the room to grow into the person they were meant to be. They protect their future by being intentional about what they share and when they share it. They know that sometimes the world isn't ready for the magnitude of their plans, and they would rather let their actions speak for them when the time is right. A woman who is secure in her own journey doesn't have to announce her goals or her accomplishments to the world. She knows that true success is measured not by the applause of others, but by the deep sense of fulfillment she finds in the pursuit of her purpose. She lets her actions tell the story because she knows that the strongest narrative is the one that's written in the quiet moments of dedication and hard work. She doesn't feel the need to share her plans prematurely because she knows the moment for unveiling her greatness will come when she's fully prepared, when the world is ready to witness it in its entirety. In the same way, a smart woman knows when to shield her vulnerabilities. She knows that there's a time to show strength and a time to show softness, but not everyone has earned the right to see her at her most vulnerable. Vulnerability in her world is sacred. It's shared only with those who will nurture it, who will protect her heart, and who will never exploit her emotions for personal gain. She recognizes that by holding back this part of herself, she preserves the depth of her power. ensuring that her true essence remains untarnished by external judgment. And above all, a smart woman knows that her worth is hers to define, not something to be debated or diminished by others. She doesn't need to explain why she deserves respect or why she deserves the life she is building. Her worth isn't measured by her ability to please or to conform. It is embedded in her unwavering sense of self, her values, and her unshakable belief in her capabilities. She doesn't share her worth because it's not for negotiation. It's not up for discussion. It's a truth she carries with her, unwavering and unshakable. This is what sets smart women apart. They are not just thinkers, they are protectors of their own energy, curators of their own destinies. They understand that to be unstoppable, you must first be discerning. They are aware that what they don't share is just as powerful as what they do. They know that their silence is not a sign of weakness, but a symbol of the quiet strength that fuels their ambition. Through this intentional act of protecting what matters most, they build lives that are deeply aligned with their purpose and filled with genuine success. Smart women don't need the world to validate their journey. They've already decided that they are worthy of greatness, and they build that greatness quietly, with focus, and with the knowledge that the most powerful things in life often remain unseen until they are ready to be revealed. The power of a smart woman lies not just in her achievements, but in the grace with which she guards what is most important to her. She knows that in this world, there are forces that seek to diminish her light, to challenge her purpose, and to distract her from the path she is meant to walk. But rather than letting the world take hold of her narrative, she owns it. With intention and poise, the most powerful women are those who have mastered the art of protecting what matters most, because they know that some things are too precious to be shared too freely. A smart woman understands that what she reveals to the world is not just a reflection of who she is, but of who she's becoming. She doesn't need to justify her worth to anyone because she knows that her value is intrinsic. She knows that it is not the applause of others that fuels her, but the quiet, steady belief she has in herself. She moves through life with purpose, unshaken by the noise of others' opinions, because she has learned to trust her own voice over the clamor of external judgment. When a smart woman protects her plans, she does so because she knows that the world isn't always ready to support her vision. There will always be those who question her ambitions, dismiss her goals, or doubt her capacity. She doesn't share her plans with those who are not invested in her success, because she understands that the energy she gives to others is sacred. She saves her energy for the ones who believe in her from the start, the ones who are genuinely willing to walk beside her on the journey. She trusts that the right people will recognize her vision when the time is right, and until then, she remains focused on her work, letting her progress speak for itself. In a world where vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, a smart woman knows that true vulnerability is about trust and discernment. She is not afraid to show her emotions, but she is careful about where and when she does so. She shares her vulnerabilities with those who will listen without judgment, those who will meet her with empathy and care. In doing so, she ensures that her emotions are used as a tool for growth, not as a weapon to be wielded against her. Her vulnerabilities are precious, and she chooses wisely whom she allows to witness them. Lastly, a smart woman knows that her worth is never up for negotiation. She does not seek the approval of others to feel validated. She does not measure her success against the standards set by the world. Her worth is something she claims for herself, and it is rooted in her self-respect, her integrity, and her accomplishments. She carries herself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that her value does not depend on anyone else's recognition. It is a truth she holds within, unwavering and absolute. The smartest women are the ones who understand that they are the architects of their own futures. They don't give their power away. They protect their inner strength and cultivate it until it becomes an unstoppable force. They understand the importance of guarding their energy, their time, and their peace. They don't share everything because they know that what they keep for themselves is what will ultimately shape their destiny. When you observe a woman who is succeeding, excelling, and radiating confidence, know this: she has carefully protected her plans, her vulnerabilities, and her worth. She has learned to guard them as she would her most valuable treasures. It is in this protection that her power grows, and in this silence that her greatness is born. Because smart women know that their silence is not passive. It is an active choice to cultivate the strength, clarity, and confidence needed to create the life they are meant to live. So, when you see a woman who walks with purpose, who radiates strength, and who moves with an unwavering sense of self, understand that she has protected what is most important to her. She has mastered the art of being intentional with what she shares and what she keeps sacred. And it is this discipline, this wisdom, that allows her to continue growing into the powerful force she was always meant to be. A smart woman knows that the most valuable asset she has is not something that can be seen or touched. It's her inner world. She understands that what's happening inside her, the thoughts she nurtures, the energy she cultivates, and the wisdom she accumulates, is what truly shapes her life. And because of this, she is incredibly discerning about where she directs her attention and to whom she gives access. She doesn't waste time on people who are not invested in her journey. She recognizes that every moment of her life is precious and deserves to be filled with meaning and purpose. She surrounds herself with people who reflect her values, people who lift her up and align with her vision for the future. Smart women are not defined by the noise around them. They are not swayed by fleeting trends or by the opinions of people who do not understand their true potential. They listen to their intuition, trust their instincts, and remain anchored in their own truth. They know that the louder the world gets, the quieter they must become in order to hear the voice that guides them towards greatness. They create space for introspection, for deep reflection, and for moments of solitude that allow them to reconnect with their inner strength. This is not isolation, it is recalibration. It is in these moments of quiet that they recharge and prepare to take on the world with unwavering determination. One of the greatest strengths of a smart woman is her ability to remain focused and calm in the face of adversity. She is often the eye of the storm, unaffected by the chaos swirling around her. She doesn't let setbacks define her, and she certainly doesn't let the negativity of others affect her peace of mind. When faced with challenges, she rises, adapts, and learns. She sees obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. And because she knows her worth, she never lets anyone or anything convince her that she is less than capable. She faces every challenge with the quiet confidence that she will not only overcome it, but emerge stronger from it. Smart women also understand the importance of timing. They know that patience is often more powerful than haste. They don't rush into decisions or actions just for the sake of being busy. Instead, they take the time to evaluate their choices, weigh the pros and cons, and move forward only when they are clear about the next step. They know that the right time will come, and when it does, they will be ready. This strategic patience allows them to build a foundation that is solid, sustainable, and built to last. It's a lesson the world could stand to learn. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in knowing when to wait, when to be still, and when to act. Moreover, a smart woman is never in competition with others. She recognizes that everyone has their own unique path to walk, and that the success of others does not diminish her own. She is confident in the knowledge that her journey is hers alone, and that there is room for all women to rise together. She celebrates the success of others because she knows that when one woman wins, we all win. She understands that abundance is not a finite resource, but a force that grows when shared. Her confidence is not born of comparison. It is rooted in the unshakable belief that there is more than enough to go around, and her success is a reflection of her own commitment, hard work, and vision. A smart woman also knows how to rest. She knows that in order to achieve great things, she must first take care of herself. She doesn't burn herself out chasing success. She nurtures herself, mind, body, and soul. She knows that rest is not a luxury, but a necessity. She understands that by taking time to recharge, she is better equipped to handle the demands of her goals, her family, and her dreams. She doesn't feel guilty for taking breaks because she recognizes that self-care is a form of self-respect. When she gives herself the space to rest, she becomes more powerful, more creative, and more focused. Ultimately, smart women understand that their greatest asset is not external validation, it's their ability to remain true to themselves, to their values, and to their purpose. They know when to share their ideas, when to reveal their vulnerabilities, and when to protect what is sacred. They move through life with intention, guarding their energy, their dreams, and their worth. Their strength comes from within, from the knowledge that they are enough, that they are capable, and that they hold the keys to their own future. A smart woman doesn't need to be seen or heard to know her worth. She carries herself with the quiet power of someone who knows that what she does in silence speaks volumes. And in that silence, she finds the strength to lead, to create, and to transform the world around her. She is unstoppable, not because she's louder than everyone else, but because she is clear on who she is, what she wants, and what she is willing to protect. And that is the true measure of power. The power of a smart woman isn't just in her intellect or her accomplishments, it's in her quiet, unwavering confidence. She doesn't need to be loud to make her presence known. She understands that real power doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists. She has learned the art of stillness, and in that stillness she finds clarity. When the world is full of chaos, she remains composed, knowing that the answers she seeks are already within her. Her wisdom is rooted in her ability to pause, reflect, and then move forward with intention. Smart women never rush into anything. They understand that great things take time. They are patient with themselves, knowing that growth isn't instantaneous. They don't measure success by speed or by how quickly they achieve their goals. Instead, they measure success by the depth of their work, the quality of their decisions, and the consistency with which they pursue their dreams. They understand that life is not a race, it's a journey. And with each step, they get closer to the person they are meant to become. One of the greatest signs of a smart woman is her ability to protect her peace. She knows that her inner world is sacred and she won't allow anyone to disrupt it. Whether it's toxic people, unnecessary drama, or negative energy, she removes herself from situations that threaten her peace. She does not engage in unnecessary conflict or waste time arguing with those who don't understand her vision. She is focused on what truly matters, her goals, her growth, and her peace of mind. She chooses to invest her energy in what brings her joy and fulfillment, and she has no time for distractions. A smart woman understands that her journey is a reflection of the choices she makes, and she is intentional about the company she keeps. She surrounds herself with people who inspire her, people who challenge her to be better, and people who bring out the best in her. She knows that the energy of those around her has a direct impact on her own energy, so she is careful to guard her space, only allowing people into her life who add value and positivity. She doesn't waste time trying to please people who don't align with her vision because she knows that her worth is not defined by their approval. There is also a deep humility in the smart woman. She is confident, but never arrogant. She knows that there is always room to grow, to learn, and to evolve. She is open to new ideas and perspectives, but she doesn't let them dilute her sense of self. She listens, she learns, and she adapts, but she never loses sight of who she is. She knows that true wisdom comes from embracing both strengths and weaknesses, and she never shies away from being a work in progress. A smart woman also understands the power of boundaries. She knows where to draw the line and how to enforce it. Whether it's in her personal relationships, her professional life, or her emotional well-being, she sets clear boundaries and ensures that they are respected. She does not feel guilty for saying no because she knows that her time, her energy, and her love are precious. She only gives to those who respect her boundaries and reciprocate her efforts. She protects herself from people who seek to drain her, and she surrounds herself with those who nourish her soul. Perhaps one of the most powerful qualities of a smart woman is her ability to take ownership of her life. She is not a victim of her circumstances. She is the creator of her reality. She understands that the choices she makes today will shape her tomorrow. She takes full responsibility for her actions and decisions, never blaming others for the direction her life takes. She knows that true empowerment comes from taking control of her own narrative and refusing to let anyone define her. Smart women also know how to celebrate their victories, no matter how small. They understand that success is a journey, not a destination. They take pride in every step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem to others. They acknowledge their own hard work, perseverance, and dedication. They recognize that every achievement, every milestone is a testament to their resilience. They don't wait for others to celebrate them. They celebrate themselves. What truly makes a woman smart is her ability to grow, to adapt, and to protect her peace while remaining steadfast in her purpose. She is relentless in her pursuit of her dreams, but she does so with grace. She understands that being a smart woman isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing who she is, trusting herself, and never allowing anyone to take away what is rightfully hers. She creates the life she wants to live, and in doing so, she becomes an inspiration for others to do the same. The smartest women are those who choose to be silent when it matters, who protect what they cherish, and who never ever compromise their self-worth. They are quiet in their power and loud in their actions. They know that the most powerful things in life often go unnoticed until they are ready to be seen. And when the world finally does see them, they will be undeniable.